Here we go. Hey, it's Film Photography Podcast number 76.
Hey.
February 15th, 2013. John's fumbling.
I'm so sorry.
John Fideli in the studio.
Hey now, hey, hi.
Leslie Lazenby from Imagine That.
Hello. Hey, imagine that. And the Mecca studio.
Artist Lauren Bagley.
Hello.
With the Strudel.
He would bark, but he's really close to the mic.
Oh,
Okay.
so mellow.
Well, you squeeze him and he barks.
Church. If you're lucky, that's all he does.
Speak, Strudel. Speak.
Snots all over your mic.
And Matt Marash.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
On today's show,
What show?
we're going to be having a... Let's
do this.
We have an update on large format photography. We have a camera spotlight, the Canon T70,
T70.
Dane's fave, Mark's not fave. For those two Jersey guys, they're not here today.
Two blokes.
Yep. Leslie, you have something called an Olympus O.
I have the O product.
Oh, does she?
Whoa, look at that.
What a beauty.
We have darkroom tips, listener letters, and then the end.
The end
It
of
is
what?
near, it is near.
Life as we know it.
Yes. So, hey, we'll be right back. Hey, Matt.
Hey, what's going on?
What's I figured this, middle of February, really good time to do a update on, what's happening with large format photography.
Oh, man.
Yourself,
Yeah, this is...
other people you know, films, what you've been shooting, like what's happening?
Well, I'm still working, getting ready to go hardcore into the color project I'm working on. It takes a heck of a lot of planning. I know I've been talking about this forever. It's just never going to happen at this point. But shooting color, shooting all of the impossible PQ. My God, I love that film.
It's the instant
8x10.
Instant 8x10.
Beautiful.
Incredible.
It is
I know. I said last month, oh, hey, we should start shooting more color. But if I'm shooting black and white, it's going to be that impossible PQ. It's really great stuff. You have a finished shot in 5 minutes. You can do emulsion transfers with it. You just do all the great stuff. I would like to call it an 8x10 shooter's dream. It's just gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. It's so warm, isn't it?
Yes,
just
it's very
lovely?
warm. Yeah, it starts cool.
Wet plate
and then
looking, as you
Well, it's
said.
very wet plate looking
Yes.
because it reverses the
It's
image,
reverse.
and it's a positive image on that clear acetate base. So you can put it on cool backgrounds, and you can just do so much with it.
Extremely addictive.
So, but that's not all in the large format world. Mike, you'll be proud of me.
Yes.
I am gonna have my first big boy shoot. with a model. With a model.
No
yeah,
way.
I found a model
Where did you find the model?
at a games shop, so I knew she was all right. At a local gaming shop, where they play like D&D and
Yep.
Really?
arcade games and stuff. Yeah, she was there.
And did you know that she modeled, or?
I didn't know, but she's a mutual friend.
Okay.
So I'm just going to start to work. I told her what I shoot with. I said, oh, those old-timey cameras where you put the cloth over? Oh, my God, you shoot with those? I'd love to do a shoot. So working that around. Hopefully I'll have some shots up by March-ish.
Okay.
Like that. So
Looking forward to that.
it's
Now,
working with her is fun.
Is this
So.
going to be a project, like a long-term project?
No, very very short term. Just kind of get my time in with people that know what they're doing in front of the camera. It's going to be a complete change.
Hey, Matt.
Hey.
When you're shooting the model, get a release.
Hey, FPP model releases. You get a pad. How many you get? 100?
Oh, it's like at least, a bunch of them.
Easily 100. Great little thing. You have a 5x7 or 5x8 ready to go.
Throw in your bag. Under
Perfect.
$10.
Under $10. I mean, I'm only working with one. But hey, 99 to go.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
99
It'll last you quite a
models.
while.
Release forms.
And then can I keep going? A
Yeah.
little bit? I got some more large format updates.
No,
So,
this is your segment. Go.
You know, last month you guys all saw it here in the studio. I hauled it all the way back up here today.
Yeah.
The CNR. I'm
beautiful.
I'm being slowly converted to monorail. Yeah.
Is that a monorail?
That's a monorail. Oh,
That-
yeah, just pick it up. It's 75 pounds of fury on that
Is that
tripod.
right?
Yeah. Well, the tripod and everything. It's
and it's called a CNR.
a CNR.
What year was that made?
This was made in the mid 80s.
We're looking at it right
it's
now.
the CNR P2. The P stands for perfection.
I'd say.
And
Yes, it does.
you got to feel it. The geared movements. Once you move it, do a swing, a tilt, it's locked in. It's not going to move. It's great.
What's the difference between that and one with duo rails?
Is there such thing?
No. But it would be twice as
rails?
sturdy.
How many rails do they normally have?
Well, yeah, just one along it. But what's cool is they have it's extendable. So there's these little screw-on caps, and that's got the super wide on it. I can unscrew it, add another 6-10 inches to it, and make a longer rail for a longer lens. So it's completely customizable.
I see.
It's super heavy. It has a metering back. It has all the movements.
Metering back.
Okay. So CNR, this is for the studio guys that wanted to have their catalog shots perfect and consistent between each shot. And you get with this thing that was called a CNR Braun booster, and the booster was a metering probe. It sounds as fun as it is.
Yeah.
And the probe goes into the back of the camera for what's called focal plane metering. So you stick this little probe in the back of the camera, and we talk about bellows extension and all these weird factors that mess up with your exposure. This just tells you what the exposure is, and that's what it is.
Are you serious?
No bellows factor, no problem. It's all right there.
Wow.
So these are
That's insane.
all the bells and whistles. All the bells
kidding.
and whistles.
That would take a lot of fear out of shooting 8x10.
It feels like cheating.
Yeah,
It
right.
really does. Like before, I was scraping to kind of get the movements right or
Mm-hmm.
change my perspective. It's 1, 2. I mean, you saw how fast I focused
very
those group
quick,
shots. Just
yeah.
boom. Once you know what you're doing with it, I suggest, for folks, because I talked about in the large format primer that we have up on the blog, monorail versus field. I would still say get a cheaper kind of field camera to start. But once you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for in the shot, my God, the monorail is like sweet.
I think Matt's in love.
He is. Yeah, he's in lust.
Twitter paid it at least.
He's in love.
You can't
Now-
take it around in Manhattan, though.
Oh, we'll try.
You know
They'll
what?
try.
I'll try.
If anybody's going to do it, it'll be Matt.
Now, what do you
He needs a caravan.
Are you still shooting with your Eastman commercial?
For hiking around the Cuyahoga Valley National Park and anything where I feel like I'm going to be going vertically more than horizontally, I will probably take the Eastman because the Eastman feels like a debonair now.
Yeah.
This thing, you see the monster case that thing comes in over
Oh,
there.
my goodness.
Got like the ballistics grade case and
Definitely need some Sherpas for that.
yeah, definitely. But it's quit my gym. Don't need it.
Don't need it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, just pick that baby up. Oh.
Oh. And what kind of film stocks have you been putting into that 8x10 film holder?
Well, so far this year, really just the PQ and that lovely box of Fujichrome Provia F that the fine folks at Fuji provided us with at the PDN. We
Yeah.
have that.
Provia.
There'll be some shots up there coming up soon.
And-
Processed by the Darkroom.
Will your model photography be instant film or chrome film?
I think we're going to do we're going to do X-ray to start just because I can get a feel for the model. I can
Inside
burn
and out. Sorry. X-ray.
X-ray.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
So I can burn through 20, 30 sheets of X-ray film because I got new holders for Christmas too. So I have like 25 film
So
holders.
you're all set to go.
By the time Santa Claus came to Jersey, he was out of it.
He was out of
empty, so-
everything.
Sorry,
By the
Mike.
time
Matt
he-
took it all.
By the time he got across Findlay, Ohio, he was out of everything.
Oh man, but
He's a very persuasive kid.
so I can burn through all that stuff, and then the next iteration is going to be PQ, the instant film, because we can have feedback right away. Then the good stuff, some color,
Color.
Fujichrome Provia and Ektar 100.
Do you have a feel, Matt, that there's going to be new instant films coming in 2013? Any indication? Anything?
Well, if my word is as good as it was at Christmas with Impossible, I'd like some color. Some
luck.
Some color.
What do you think?
Color integral?
Do you think?
CP,
I think
yeah.
CP, yeah.
Oh,
Slap some of that in there.
whoa,
I would.
8x10 CP.
Ooh,
That'd be incredible.
amazing.
What's the market for that, though, for 8x10
Surprisingly,
instant
like it's
photography?
always
Matt
gone.
and I.
Yeah.
There's a lot of folks.
It's all going to Ohio.
Oh,
There's this
man.
really great guy online. You might have heard of him. He's an actor, musician, Adam Goldberg.
Yeah, I think I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, big tall guy. Hey, how you doing, long face? Always got a beard on.
Yeah, he's always got a beard on, yeah. And he's doing 8x10 now,
Is
too. Yeah, he's really championing the impossible 8x10. So there's actually a lot of guys doing it. It's never, like, full in stock. It's either gone or, like, very close to. So it's gorgeous stuff. I can't say enough nice things about him.
Matt, what would you say to a FPP listener who is very curious about shooting large format? And, like, what do you do?
Well, if you're in the greater Midwest area, you can come out to one of the workshops that me and Scott Myvogel are doing over at Aperture Tremont, aperturetremont.com. Check that out. Or you can always shoot me an email. I'm also doing a little one-on-one coaching for folks that want to get their hands in the darkroom.
Right.
Now that I have access to field cameras, monorail cameras, and press cameras, we do a great little one-on-one workshop where we just walk around downtown Findlay. We shoot, we go up and process the film. We learn how to do all that beforehand. And then while the film's drying, we go hang out with Leslie over at Imagine That.
Woohoo!
It's a fun
Party
time.
down.
That's awesome.
So, if you're in the Midwest area, that's definitely the way to do it. If not, send me an email.
People that what email address?
Matt@filmphotographyproject.com.
Very nice. That's Matt with one Matt,
T.
Matt,
T.
M-A-T.
M-A-T. You can walk all over me.
And if people come to Findlay, Ohio for a workshop, where do you stick them? Do you stick them in the Findlay Inn?
I do, well... Yeah, I try to go in the Findlay Inn. It's a good little joint to go. We also have a couple other big chain hotels off of the state route. But yeah, just come the Midwest area. If you can't find the Midwest, there's a lot of guys on the
You
east.
can't find the Midwest.
Yeah.
We're like we're hard to
area
find.
on the map.
It's right in the middle.
Kind of known
Hidden
as
by
welcome
corn
to
now.
Ohio.
You can't find it. Yeah, there's a lot of guys on the West Coast that are getting into it. There's a lot of big established groups. I mean, if you're out west and you don't know what large format is, you just haven't gone to any of the big parks lately. There's more and more folks showing up with those. So and then East Coast, New York, B&H is always doing workshops. They just did a big wet plate collodion thing around the Christmas season.
What do they bring in?
They brought in Artcraft Chemicals. We talked about those guys before.
Did they?
Sponsored by Artcraft. They brought in a wet plate collodion talk, and I believe they also hosted a workshop for that. So, it's really catching back on.
Sorry, it's the T70.
Hey, it's the
we're
next
giving away
segment,
today. Thank you, Matt. If anybody has any questions, you don't mind them sending you an email?
Send them away.
Well, I want to announce today that we're giving away the Canon T70 camera. This is a mid-1980s camera, currently a fave of both myself and FPP Dane Johnson.
Dane Johnston.
Yeah, Dane Johnston. I was surprised when I found out that Dane Johnson has one as well. He's been shooting with it.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I like it.
Yeah, what do you like about it? Solid camera.
Solid camera. It's fully automatic, but also it's very easily switches into Emmanuel mode.
Emmanuel.
Very simply, you just hold down the mode button, and here it's a very clunky, square, mid-1980s. Do you remember how cars got square as well?
Yeah. K-cars.
But this, of course, was before the Canon revolutionary T90, which revolutionized cameras across the board with a molded, soft edges that is still used today. The T90 set the standard for all cameras moving forward. But this, the lowly T70...
I feel like when you press the shutter, it's going to play the Beverly Hills Cop theme. Bam, 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 ba-dum, bam. It's just, yeah.
Here it's very simple. You have up and down buttons, mode, ISO, BC battery check, and when you hit mode and then you press up and down, you could, right now it's in program, you could put it into telephoto mode, let's say using a long lens on it, TV, which is a shutter priority.
Yes.
Yeah.
Program wide for a wide-angle lens, which I should have been using with this 24mm, but it wasn't.
What,
Back to program.
What does it do?
If you go to TV, for example, as soon as you take your finger off the mode button, the shutter speed shows up in the window. Now, using the up and down levers, you could go higher or lower. So let's say you put 60th of a second and look through the viewfinder and have the lens set at A for auto. It'll pick a f-stop. But if you take it out of auto, in the viewfinder there's no film in here, there's a meter on the side. It says, 5.6.
So you got to set it to 5.6.
Yeah. So, it's a great camera. If you're just beginning, of course, you have the option of doing full manual or putting into the famous Canon program mode. Famous program mode, which I use with this camera.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, set it and forget it. and it has an auto
Auto advance.
Auto advance. And when it's done, there's an auto rewind on the bottom. You press the button, it's like
pretty handy.
film goes back into its
I've only
cartridge.
got one camera with that function, and I adore that.
Do you?
The crunching, especially.
Crank,
Like,
CR.
When you're stripping the...
oh, is it going in? Is it hurting it?
Generally speaking, I do not like auto functions. I like to see the manual take up, because then you're confident that your film is being
You're
properly
lost with
advanced.
that camera. You get Ajita with that?
Do I get? No, I don't. Actually, I've adapted beautifully to it, and
You've learned to trust it.
yes, I've been shooting with this for quite a few months now, and that's why this was a donation to the FPP. That's why I feel very confident and thrilled to be offering the Canon T70 camera for this month's giveaway.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And not only that, once you own a Canon FD lens, what's called the Canon FD line of lenses, you can go on eBay.com and you will find a amazing assortment of Canon FD lenses that are relatively expensive. So if you want to put a fast lens on this, you can get yourself a 50
How
millimeter.
fast is that lens?
Well, this is going to come with this is my lens on here now.
Oh, I
This camera is going to be given away with a standard Canon 50 millimeter f1.8 lens,
Sweet.
which is sweet. Yeah. But the world is your oyster. Is that the expression?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's so many lenses for the Canon FD.
And they're so cheap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
guard
nice.
dog.
Must have just lost that auction.
Guard dog. So go to filmphotographyproject.com/giveaways, and you will see the awesome Canon T70,
Yes.
which we're giving away this month. Highly recommended by both
Highly recommended by both
myself and Dane Johnson.
and Dane Johnson.
Dane Johnson.
I've heard of him.
Hey,
diaper
so what about the 10 minus that? Where's that T60?
Oh, the T60.
10
Look at
minus
this. I have been testing. This is a different T60 than the last one that
Oh
you
no,
manhandled.
why is that? Did I manhandle it too much?
No. I've been testing. I had a bit of gas with it.
Oh.
And I started buying T60 bodies, and my intention is to test them and make them available in the FPP store.
Ooh.
You like
Such
them
great
that much?
cameras.
I
yeah.
do.
Wow.
Here, feel, just give it a feel.
It's a beginner
Let me see
camera.
this guy.
It's a standard.
Feather, man.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
You can wear that around your neck with no pain.
Where'd it go? Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
It is. So, John, when you put the T60 into A, and then you put your lens at f1.8, like it's just going to do all the calculations for you.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet. I've been doing that all day. For the last shoe, I shot all the behind-the-scenes shots on the T60 and the T70. And thanks for bringing that up, Matt.
You know, it's got a nice feel to it, and you put a nice hunk of glass on it, and it still feels like it's going to hold. And
Well, that's the lens, John.
That's the lens.
It's the... He's giving it a
Giving it
mark.
the mark. Huh? Oh.
It's the underdog Canon camera, the FD Canon camera that, frankly, no one ever heard of.
I'm in love.
It was manufactured
Again?
by Cosina specifically for foreign
Was
markets,
it?
mostly Asia. Highly, amazingly unpopular in the United States.
Amazingly unpopular.
So, thank you. Well, hey, let's take a quick break.
Okay, everybody?
It's a bit dark under here, isn't it, Dave?
Oh, yeah, you lot do look a bit shady. We'll fix that. Is that red wine or treacle, Marty? Colette, Ron Shirt could have some more holiday colour.
Does your film require you to do a bit of retouching?
Perfect.
Would they see mine on suntan, Dave?
You're right.
Why can't I just shut up?
Get strong true colours in your camera, not all over you. Kodacolor Gold.
Hey, Mike Rosso here, FPP. We're here at Tony's Touch of Italy with Matt and Lauren and Leslie and myself, and we're celebrating the fact that FPP Store, filmphotographystore.com, now carries not only Kodak film, but Kodak film at a price that matches, if not beats, all the big online stores. What does that mean?
That means that I don't have to shop anywhere else for film. Ever. Just FPP, filmphotographystore.com is going to be the one-stop shop for all of my film, 35mm, 120, instant photography, and, you know, those great little plastic film-tastic cameras on the side.
Super positive.
Leslie, what's it mean?
It's one-stop shopping. It's quick shipping. And we ship international. No problems. Very important, sure. We're not going to leave anybody out.
A big a big part of the FPP community is the international listener base. I would say a little over 50%. And now they have an outlet, and a very cost-efficient outlet, and we're getting it to you. So get out there, order your favorite emulsions, your Portras, your Ektars, your T-Max, Triax. Get it now. FilmPhotographyStore.com.
Mail's in.
Hey, we're back.
Hey!
Let's read some listener letters.
Yeah.
Can you read this, John? It's from Mary Virginia Stroud. That's a very proper name.
It says, hi. I'd like some advice on a few things. First, I'd really like to concentrate on shooting film more, but I live 300 miles above the Arctic Circle. It's minus 20 outside right now.
That is so awesome.
Oh, my God.
Well, film might make it better than digital at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can go in January down to 40 below.
Oh my
Minus
goodness.
40 or below.
I wonder if
The
she's doing
D76 will
research.
freeze before it hits the film.
Well, it says, I switch almost completely to digital in the winter because I'm scared to take my film cameras out in these kind of temperatures. My D300 is tried and true in extreme temps. My Mercury 2 might be okay, but I love that one so much I'm chicken to try it. Do you have a suggestion for a camera that will be able to handle these temps? I've heard that the Nikon FM2N might be a good option. Would you agree?
FM2.
Mike would.
Oh, FM2's we know what that is.
That's
I
a
have an
solid little
FM2,
Nikon, yeah.
It would be able to use all my lenses at least. My second question involves scanning and printing negatives. My current scanner needs to be upgraded. It's a Canon Scan 8800F.
Oh, those are okay. Yeah.
It says I participate in a lot of fine art shows in Alaska, and it's not up to task
Oh,
of
man,
giving
that's
me a
cool.
good enough scan to make a decent print. If I upgraded to the Epson V700 or 750, would that be able to do the job to allow me to print?
Yes.
Scans?
All right, so the question is one two-parter.
All right.
Maybe, Matt, you take half and Leslie, you
I'll
take half.
tackle the scanning part of it. Is that?
Ask
I don't know.
Mr.
I don't
Freeze.
know about that FM2. You want something sealed a little better?
Yeah.
Definitely manual advance.
Like an
you
F?
do not. Yes.
You want an F in there, yeah, like a F.
and you want
F6.
something manual advance. You do not want an auto advance. That film will snap at that.
Doesn't the
coil.
FM2 have a manual advance?
Yes, it does. You could borrow mine, but it's had a roll of infrared in it for a year and a half now.
Well, what about like your generic Nikon like that, or like the the basic Nikon, or like a basic Canon like the FTB, which you just got? I mean, that's
maybe the FTB.
Manual.
It does not require the battery to function.
FM2 does.
What about
Yes.
a box camera?
Although it does
That's
have
what I'm
it
thinking.
does
It's
have an
something very
M90 on it. It
rudimentary.
will
Right.
fire
Yeah.
without, but you're locked in.
It's dark,
because you
know.
can have that temporary
dark.
battery drain when it's that cold.
Do they make
winter it is.
blimps for cameras specifically for like sub-zero weather?
No,
They
not
do
really.
make battery umbilicals.
Oh,
What does that
Do
mean?
you know what a battery umbilical is? Olympus made this for the
It's a little
OM1,
heating
OM2. The batteries fit in a little holder in your pocket. There's a little umbilical, and it goes
Oh,
into
no kidding.
so you can keep your batteries warm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Stick right in your bra.
They make a film umbilical?
I always recommend if you're shooting in sub-zero to basically in your parka keep your camera.
Just
in
keep
your
everything.
parka,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take it out, shoot back in the parka.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Shoot back in the parka. Shoot
Back in the parka.
back in
Wait till spring.
Yeah, God bless you for living up there. My God.
With
I
the,
know.
well, I'll tell you what. If Lauren wants to go to the Arctic more than anything in the world, so
That's true.
if she
I would at least go to Alaska.
if we could find any sort of accommodations up there, I'm certain we could bring a camera that would work.
Hint, hint.
Hint,
Nudge,
hint.
nudge, wink, wink.
Exactly. But about the scanning, Petapixel, a big photo blog.
Petapixel.
I found a great article about, they're saying there's certain setups with a DSLR you can get that scan a little, they're kind of persnickety, but they can scan just as good, if not better, than a V700 for 35.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't do it for huge pieces of film because it's a lot of stitching. But you can use a macro kit on a Nikon, and they used a Nikon in the blog on
Really?
scanning your film. We'll put that in the show notes.
How about it?
But yeah, you can use a DSLR or V700 gets the job done. But that Epson scan or the Canon scan should be a good scanner.
Yeah.
They do a good job.
But the 750 is the one.
Oh,
I love my 750.
or a 500 if she
Or
can find it
700,
or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Who's it from? Who's this letter from, John?
Get your glasses
From
on.
Doyle Cracker. How to pronounce your name? Long A like Baker.
Oh, Craker.
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 Doyle Craker.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cracker.
This one's from. This one's from. Doyle Craker.
Okay, what's
What's
Doyle
Doyle
say?
got on
That's
his
an
mind?
unbelievable name. That is so great, that name. It says Team FPP. I have never really been a photography buff, but recently my soon-to-be 12-year-old son Said he wanted a good camera, so I wrangled my mom's Nikon 35mm setup away from her. She was about to trade it to a Photoshop, for picture print coupons. Wow.
What does that mean?
Good snag. She was going to trade in the camera for
It's not a good deal.
for
Prints.
coupons.
Oh.
Prints.
Oh.
We will be giving this kit to my son for his birthday next week. Good snag, Doyle. I thought I would delve into the world of film photography with him and have been scouting the real sale shops for a camera. I found a Brownie camera, number 3. They want $24 for it. I don't know if it works or not. According to my Googling, these take 124 film. Can I run 120 film through it, assuming it works?
A lot of questions.
Well, go ahead, answer.
Well, I was going to say first about if you're in a store, don't be afraid to test the shutter. Mm-hmm. Those old box cameras. I mean, just test the shutter.
Right, make sure it fires properly.
Yeah,
Look down the barrel. See that it's opening and closing.
As far as the film question, what was the film question?
124, will it take 120?
Will it take 120? I don't know.
124?
Yeah, that's a really old format.
Pass.
Yeah.
Pass.
Pass.
I'm going to pass to Lauren.
Oh, man.
No, pass.
I'd have to look it up. And I could actually
Pass.
answer that
I-
later, but I can't now because I
I have a no good hand
don't
here.
have my Kodak 100 book with me.
Well, okay, so we don't know too much about that, Doyle. Sorry.
We know about the testing the shutter.
Yeah.
Yes.
They also have some $5 plastic 35mm cameras. Maybe good for lomography, yes.
Sure.
Anyway, I love the podcast, and I'm learning a ton. These gray, snowless days, early December days, are taking on a new dimension when I look at them in terms of what might make a cool photo. Definitely. Keep up the good work, Doyle.
Well, thank you.
Kraken.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, where's he from?
It doesn't say.
How come people don't put where they're from on here?
Witness protection
It
program,
is,
obviously.
because they're all over.
Doyle, what have you been up to?
Letter. Here's another quick letter from
Okay.
Jeff.
Jeff,
Oh,
hey.
Jeff.
What's Jeff got to say?
What's
Jeff
Jeff
says,
got to
hi,
say?
Michael. I really enjoyed your site. Thank you. I've revived an interest in using instant film again and purchased the Fuji FP 100 color and 300 black and white films for my land camera.
Nice.
I'm not clear, though, about shooting outside. 25 degrees up here in Albany.
Another
With these films.
cold.
Yeah, what are these
That's
people?
all right. Just cold clip.
How many minutes for developing for each type? Does the development stop, and can I peel apart later at home? Appreciate any advice. Jeff Perkins in Albany.
Leslie?
Well, of course.
Sure can.
Sure can.
Take them home. Throw them in your
What's the-
pocket.
Yes.
The answer is just yes. Yes,
Yes,
thank you. Next
yes.
next letter. No, go ahead. Let's be Jeff.
Although, I always shoot in PL1 because if I don't, then I've got a camera malfunction. But if I shoot,
you
then
want to do a
I
test.
usually do a test. Yeah.
How do you combat the cold?
Scarves. Mittens. Hats. Hot cocoa when you
Comfy
come
bra.
I
That's how
can't say because I came in here with one today. Hold it close to your person.
Okay. Yes.
Yes,
Keep
exactly.
it next to your woo-woo.
Well, I wasn't thinking that, but
yes.
is it okay to say, do women put
I
in their bra?
I do.
What about the chemicals?
It shouldn't be
No.
embarrassed.
No camps.
No, I don't worry about it.
Unless you're breastfeeding. I wouldn't worry about it.
I do. I'll forget, and I'll go into Myers, and I'll be shopping,
you're
and I'll
worried,
want
get a cold
something.
clip.
What's a cold
Oh my
clip?
God, I gotta go.
Matt's been talking about cold clip. What's a
Cold clip.
cold
Yeah.
Cold clip.
I've got a tick over here. Cold clip. No. So you can go on the filmphotographystore.com. It's just 2 pieces of just like aluminum or stainless or whatever it is, and it'll just wick the heat from your armpit or wherever you're or sitting on it, and it will keep it nice and flat and keep the chemistry from getting all over you, and it keeps it nice and warm. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I always give it. Even if I'm going to peel
a whole pack of them or just one?
I know you can hold multiples.
You can put multiples in there, sure.
I don't find it's too messy with the chemistry. I always let mine cook an hour, but if you're going to wait, bare minimum in the cold, give it 2-3 minutes solid under the cold clip.
Yeah. Solid.
You wouldn't do it cold, though.
No.
Apart cold. What'll happen?
I would just leave it.
Color shift, exposure issues.
Exposure, yeah. Usually
just wait
exposure
until it
first.
gets warm again.
So you just, even if it's cold and then you bring it inside to warm it up, then you can peel it?
Make sure you have a warm cold clip ready. Just slap it in there as soon as you can, because the longer it's going without the extra heat, the more it's messing up the exposure.
Gotcha.
So it's not like you have, from the time you pull it, you don't have infinite time. You have to get it to that heat, or else it's going to mess up.
I see.
Excellent.
Edit.
Strudel.
Who's it from?
It's from Patrick Thomas. Hey guys, I'm a photography student in West Texas, and I've been working with instant films lately. I used to stick to integral, but recently discovered how awesome pack film is. So I've been really going nuts. Anyways, I cannot seem to find a reasonably priced shutter release for my Polaroid 100. I know you guys sell them. Have any idea if you'll have any available in the future? I really appreciate it. These West Texas winds are messing with my longer exposures enough, so I hate the added pain of not having a remote cable.
Average price $30.
Filmphotographystore.com.
Yeah.
FPP store.
FPP sold out of them as of this taping.
It's from KC. Hey, KC. Just wanted to tell you that I developed my first roll. Yay! The one sent with the camera, a film from the FPP Debonair, and they look filmtastic.
Whoa, FPP Debonair.
I cross-processed it, and the color is just amazing. I double expose every frame just for the heck of it, too. Wow, you're getting all silly here, KC. Thanks again for the great little camera. I bought 3 of them so I could give a couple of them to friends.
Nice.
From Bakersfield, California. Just signed up on Flickr. So yeah, send us a note.
What
Let us
name?
know there.
That's cute, isn't it?
Put them in the FPP pool.
eBay.
Definitely.
Type in
they're
Instax album.
Yeah, they're the Japanese ones I was showing you, the cutesy.
I am
cutesy
looking
little
at
albums.
a photo album specifically made for the Fuji Instax
And
Mini.
you found it.
There.
It's right here in
I've
front
got
of
an
me.
orange
Come in all different
Amazing.
colors.
I've got an orange one I'll give
It's
you.
an orange one that I'm holding, and I suppose they come in lots of colors.
Yes,
do.
there's like 11.
But I want
Purple.
Rainbow, rainbow.
because they're perfectly designed for the Fuji Instax.
Lauren's talking about Fuji Instax, a.k.a. Polaroid 300, a album specifically for that size.
Yes.
Pitches.
We've
Beautiful, right?
gone
Yes.
through packs and packs and packs of
We
the
need
stuff.
albums now.
We
Yes.
do, and it's hard to find them in the right size that you need for all the different sizes that we have. And
Leslie
so this
thinking-
Light bulb. Just another light bulb one off.
Fuji Instax Mini.
Hey, I do want to say that
Specific.
KC, who wrote the letter, his Flickr name is VW Taz, T-A-Z-Z.
Got another letter in that stack, Mike?
This just in. It's from Samantha, hey? It says, I have a Polaroid automatic 230 land camera that I purchased about a year ago from a vendor on my college campus. I decided recently to finally pay it some attention and replace its old battery with 3 AAAs and a flashlight battery holder. Good job, Samantha. So it's running properly, as far as I know. But now I'm faced with film purchasing. I watched one of your videos on purchasing old film from eBay and how they may be dried up or not work. Is this my only chance at finding film? Or do you know of any companies that would still make film for it? Samantha.
Anybody here? Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. She needs to go to the Film Photography Project store.
Yes, she
There you
does.
go.
And she can get color film or black and white.
Right?
Right
Fuji.
there. Shipped the speed of light
Yep.
The speed
That's what
of
I hear.
light.
with goodies.
That's right.
All sorts of goodies.
Filmphotographystore.com.
Goodies.
Yes, you can, Samantha. There's
Yes.
hope for you.
Ooh, what you got there?
This is a letter from Chimages.
Real? Oh,
Hi, Jim
Hey,
Austin.
handwritten letter. I got to read it?
Yeah. We're on his boat.
Oh, so it's all, the handwriting's up and down. Let's see. It says, Mark, Dane, John, and Mike, and everybody else. Somewhere here offshore Virginia, September 2012. By now you're planning work for fall with school well underway for the kids and teens. And
Very
last
nice.
Summer is far away. Not
Oh.
so far away, not in my
Now
mind.
it's coming.
So I just wanted to send some more memories from last summer,
Yes.
separately in a Shutterfly print envelope, that reminisce and celebrate the day of our FPP sale from Nyack.
That's right. It was awesome.
A grand day it was. I follow all your work, both on Flickr and, of course, on the show. What show? Best with all kinds of light, any type of film, and I'm pushing the DIY envelope while possessing gas. Cheers, mates. Jimages.
That's Jim Austin, Jimages.com.
This is Leslie, Jim. I love you, Jim.
We
Hey,
all love Jim.
who's been on?
Amazing
Have you guys
photographer.
seen
Everybody loves Jim.
Jimage's nice
Bentley.
little
What's
slow
up, Bentley?
photography group?
Absolutely.
Great group.
Yes.
He really is pushing the conversation on slowing down, taking time with your camera, really thinking about what you're shooting. And there's a lot of folks catching on to it. Digital and film. It's great.
From James Eakins. Hi, Michael. Just received this week some items I got from the store. One includes a Debonair.
Oh,
Which is my first 120 camera. I love the look of it, and I'm excited to start
You're
shooting
gonna love
with
it.
One thing,
Love it.
You're so
one thing.
cute.
While unloading the film, I was a bit nervous as the instructions were a little vague. I am wondering if you can post a quick video showing how to load and unload the Debonair.
Yes.
And if you have any spare 120 sitting around, can you send it my way? Everybody's always hitting you up. You're like a crack dealer.
I know.
We need like a
Love your
stab
shoe,
sound effect.
totally.
Yeah.
120 film you
He's
got.
from Fullerton, California.
James.
some cold storage
Eakins.
35.
Oh, did I send him any? I don't know.
We're going to take a quick break. John, sadly, you're going to be
Yeah, I
heading
gotta
out.
go. I gotta go relieve the babysitter.
Babysitter.
Oh, baby.
Or they'll Put the kids out on the street.
That's right. That's so my kids.
Is it Fraulein Maria?
No, it's Fraulein Mom.
Okay.
It's my
Fraulein
mom.
Mom.
It's my mom. It's like every time I say my mom is babysitting my kids, I just see like my mom sitting on the sofa and the kids like hitting the wall with bats and just screaming, and their faces are filled with chocolate. She's just like, oh, where is he? My kids are not that bad.
Well, John's going to take off, and we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Olympus O
Product.
Oh, it's not. The camera's not called the O?
No, it's called the O product.
Oh, interesting. We're going to find out all about that.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Have fun with that. I'll miss you guys.
You know.
You know you're my favorite
When did you
FPP
get
guy.
it?
Well, in a few minutes here.
Look at your glasses.
Hey,
Mike here. I'm here in the FPP store with Matt, Lauren, and Leslie.
Hey.
Here to talk about Kodak film. I want everyone to go to the filmphotographystore.com. That's our store, to pick up a roll of Kodak film. Why, Matt?
Hey, well, because we have some of the best prices on the web, bar
That's
none.
right.
The best.
And what else? We have extremely fast shipping.
Oh.
Super fast.
Super fast.
Yes.
Speed of light.
Super fast. I think people are very happy because our FPP are very technological, in-computer, shipper, works directly with the U.S. Postal Service. So the shipping price is the actual weight of the product.
When people buy a roll of film online,
It's
they're
like $12.
They're like, great, it's a $2 roll of film, but yeah, now it's $15 after shipping.
FPP store. Everything in the store is in stock. We have lightning fast shipping, thanks to William. Thanks, William. We have excellent shipping prices, and we now have the best prices on the web for Kodak Ektar, Kodak Portra 160 Portra, 400 T-Max, Tri-X.
forget about the superstores online.
Stores. You can get beautiful, fresh,
Is that fresh?
fresh Kodak film directly from filmphotographyproject.com. Click the store button. Lightning fast.
Fresh?
So fresh it should be slapped.
Exactly. I was going to say so fresh that will give a strudel mouth. Fresh mouth.
What's so great about buying from the film photography store? I will tell you.
It supports this show.
What show?
The Film Photography Project. That's right. We are passing along the best price to you. Filmphotographystore.com 2013 Kodak film. Thank you very much.
See this little baby? No other pocket camera does what it does. It's unique because only the new Kodak Extralight cameras have built-in Sensolite flash. Sensolite flash turns itself on and flashes automatically when you need more light. It even turns itself off. You'll never worry about flash again. These new cameras with Sensolite flash are the easiest to use Kodak pocket cameras ever. I trust my stories to cameras and film from Kodak, America's storyteller.
Hey, we're back. And I'm very happy to announce we have a special, super unannounced guest, Ms. Paige Davis of the FPP. Hi, Paige.
Hi, Mike.
You've been on the show before.
Once.
Yes.
Quite some time ago.
And when you were on the show, there were a lot of messages in the show notes like, oh, my God, what a great segment from Paige.
Oh, that's great to hear.
I wish I could remember what the subject was.
Oh, we went to see the film.
Oh.
Yes.
It's about you?
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a lot of people that listen to the FPP, there are a lot of threads, and I've been asked many times, the question is, what is your favorite photographer? Most people, the majority of people will say, you know, Henri Cartier-Bresson, Ansel Adams. I tend to lean towards people I know, and I'm always embarrassed because I know very little about the very famous photographers. As a matter of fact, when I was at Borders, they had like the 50 greatest photographers, and I bought it because I was embarrassed because I'm like, I really need to brush up on who the great photographers are.
Oh, I would love to check out that book. You have it here?
I do.
Oh,
right
fantastic.
here in the FPP library.
Very good.
But you brought to my attention that there's some activity going on with John Sexton, and I was embarrassed that I really did not know that much about John, and we have not talked about John Sexton since the very early days of FPP.
Well, I thought that since John Sexton, his 2013 and 2014 photography workshop schedule was soon to begin, and also because a certain percentage of FPP's time is devoted to large format photography, that this would be the perfect time to bring him up.
Indeed. Who is John Sexton?
Who is John Sexton? John Sexton is, most people know him as a former assistant to Ansel Adams. So John Sexton has been working with large format photography for many, many years. And in fact, this is the 23rd year of his popular workshops and exhibitions out on the West Coast. He also does a lot of traveling domestically and internationally as well. But for, I guess, this segment will focus on the workshops that are coming up on the West Coast in the near future. So John Sexton served as technical and photographic assistant and then consultant to Ansel Adams from 1979 to 1984. And I will credit his website, johnsexton.com, for this information.
Right.
And he continues to serve as a photographic special projects consultant to the Ansel Adams Publishing Rights Trust and as a consultant to the photographic industry in general. In January of 2005, he received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the North American Nature Photography Association.
Okay.
And in October of 2006, his most recent award-winning book, Recollections, 3 Decades of Photographs, was published by Ventana Editions. And I should mention that if you can find out more about John Sexton clearly through his website, johnsexton.com, which is spelled JOHNSEXTON.com, and you can purchase some of his photographs there, as well as those of his partner Ann Larson. And you can also find most of the books on his photography on Amazon.com.
Who is his partner?
Actually, you know what? I believe it's his wife. I wasn't quite confident about that, but we'll just go there. John and his wife, who is also a noted photographer, Ann Larson.
Very good.
They'll have their first co-exhibit.
A photographer
in
her own right, and
as well, and an excellent photographer.
But what's going on this year in 2013?
Well, starting in the very near future, starting March 18 through the 23rd, is his first workshop, which is the Luminous Print, a synthesis of traditional and digital workshop, which is held in Carmel Valley, California.
Okay.
Then in April, the 9th through the 14th specifically, we have Fine Tuning, the Expressive Print Workshop. April 16 to 21 is the Expressive Black and White Print Workshop. Then we jump to October 13 to 18th for the Mono Lake and the Eastern Sierra Exploring Autumn Light Workshop. And in November, we have the Expressive Black and White Print Workshop. March, the Luminous Print. We're now in 2014, by the way. The Luminous Print, again, a synthesis of traditional and digital workshops.
John's schedule goes as far out as 2014.
Indeed.
That's awesome.
Indeed, through April of 2014. So there is, there's quite some time if FPP listeners are interested in actually participating in any of these workshops
absolutely.
To book. Exactly.
And there are so many FPP listeners who are now either getting involved in or have been involved with large format photography and really kind of soak up anything, especially from a guy like John Sexton.
I just find the work beautiful. I mean, the prints are just so evocative and expressive and just stunningly gorgeous. Most recently, John has been involved in a series of photographs called Places, Powers, and Aesthetics is one of the more recent series of John Sexton's photographs. And he mentions that when he was photographing these ancient Anasazi sites, as well as photographing the space shuttle, you would think completely diverse subjects, that he talks a bit about using the wide-angle lens due to having to photograph these objects in cramped quarters. And he explains his theme, and here I will also credit an article in Photovision magazine, which is exactly how it sounds if you want to look it up online, photovisionmagazine.com. John states that he realized, sort of subsequent to starting the series, that he was photographing the aesthetics of technology through time. He decided that the space shuttle would be perfect to represent today's technology, contemporary technology, and the thread of continuity in his mind was that these things were all built, crafted, and engineered by human beings, and they also extended over a period of 1,000 years in time. These are absolutely stunning and perfect complements, I think, to his more traditional nature photography.
Right.
I should also mention that we just spoke about his wife, Ann Larson, and this year is their first co-exhibit, which is the John and Ann exhibition at the Ansel Adams Gallery in Yosemite National Park, California. And that runs from April 18 through May 29, 2013.
Very nice. I would like to thank you for, this breaking news on John Sexton. You should be on the show more often.
Well, thank you.
I look forward to the next time you're here.
Very good. I'd be delighted. Thanks.
Thanks, Paige, and we'll be right back.
It's a great year for pictures. Ansco Film makes the picture right. Ansco Film any day or night. It's a great year for pictures, so why don't you go and get ANSCO?
Ansco Film.
Ansco.
This weekend, make your pictures great with Ansco.
Breaking news.
Go to your family's basements, your family's attic, drawers. Turn things upside down and look for your family's 110 film camera. Yep, 110 Film is back. The film photography store is now stocking fresh 110 film, and if you don't have a camera, 110 new and vintage cameras. That's right, filmphotographystore.com.
Support the FPP.
Check out, try, revitalize your interest in 110 film.
110 Film is back.
You thinking about trying it? You've never shot 110? Now's the time to do it. Filmphotographystore.com. We're carrying the new Lomography, the Orca 110 black and white. That's 100 ASA 110 film. The Lomography Tiger. Tiger 200 film. That's 200 ASA color film. The very last batch, 2010 expired, Fuji film. 110 200 ASA, John Fideli's favorite, and the Lomography red scale
Lobster
110 film. Amazing. Awesome new 110 film stocks. Now's the time to check it out. Filmphotographystore.com. It helps the FPP. Very appreciative of all the folks that have been to the Film Photography Store. Please do check it out. Thank you very much.
The O product. Olympus actually put out a couple cameras that were special edition cameras. I brought one last time, I believe. The LT1 was a little bit more consumer than this. That LT1 did not have a limited production. This was introduced in 1988. In fact, it's an all-aluminum camera. On the back, it says aluminum body, AD, 1988, Tokyo, Japan.
It says that?
It does.
So it's a kind of a specialty.
Very much so. Because it was brought out for the Olympus 70th anniversary. And it is an all-aluminum body.
Look at that.
It's very much what I call an emotional design rather than a rational design. Squares, circles, and a lovely little story on the inside. Now the flash is removable. I love this flash. It looks like a little tiny potato masher, and that's going to go back to some really old time. But
it doesn't look like the format it shoots at all.
It does not. It is 35 millimeter.
It looks like a disc camera, right?
Well, yeah, with the round face on it.
Yeah.
Most certainly. I really tried to track down, because in the LT1, I could pretty much tell you that was a stylus body underneath there. And this is a bit more proprietary. There were 20,000 made, half the U.S., half 10,000 to Japan. Japan sold out in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I don't know how long this did. I don't remember if they were allocated. I don't really remember a lot about 1988.
Do you have film in there?
I do not right now.
You should show us the story on the inside.
I can show you the story on the inside.
There's a book inside.
There is a story right on the inside. Inside. Matt, I'll hand that to you. You can read that.
The first time I saw this, I was like, what is this? It's great. A new concept in product design. Olympus O product. Functional imperatives molded to artistic form. A camera shaped with simple lines, elegant contours.
Isn't that beautiful? They designed, maybe I'll bring it some other time, one called the Ecru. Comes after that.
Oh, yeah.
It simply did not have the popularity of that. That is just a stunning little camera.
It is.
Put it around your neck, go out into the public, and people will talk to you.
Yes.
Infinity Junior, and it's just not right. It's more sensitive than a Junior, but right definitely in between the stylus and the Junior. It's a very unique camera. I found a website that had the top 10 most unique or ugly cameras.
Hey, there it is.
And there it is.
We'll take a pause for the T70. Has to load.
Photochrome that we had on here before.
Yes.
It's interesting, though. They have my SX7.
They got a brick on there, too.
They do. They have a brick.
What's the one?
This is Canon.
No, what's below that one?
Sure.
Oh, look at that.
What's below that one? Is that like a Sony?
Here, this one?
Yeah.
That's an Olympus.
It's an Olympus.
Olympus AZ, I don't remember the number.
It looks like a laser tag gun.
Yeah,
it doesn't
and
even
the grip comes down and goes up.
Yeah,
There's
it's got
all
a
kinds of very
Hasselblad grip on it. Yeah.
I will.
It's neat, right?
It's awesome.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I first saw that at Imagine That. I went over to the Mecca, and I was renting out Leslie's XA4 for the FPP review last year, and she busted this baby. She's like, "Oh, do you want to shoot this?" And I was like, "No, look at it. It's beautiful."
I actually take this out quite a bit. It is.
You do? You shoot with this?
I do shoot with this. I do. I took this up to Matt's show in Cleveland, and the only thing is it's not a comfortable camera to shoot with.
Oh, it's boxy. It hurts.
Boxy. This is the button, kind of thing. But all the same, I guess brains before brawn. I don't know, something like that.
So on your Flickr stream, will there be some shots from this Olympus O product?
There already is.
Okay, great.
I'll shoot I've got to do a camera portrait of it too to put on there. But
that'd be great.
Everything. There's actually one of you on there. I think I've shot with that.
Very nice.
So that's the Olympus O product.
And it's hard to find on the Bay. Like, it's rare, correct?
I suppose maybe, it would crop up at least once a month. And if you're going to buy it, you want to make sure and buy it in the original box, all the goodies.
Yeah.
Absolutely fun to shoot with, though. Beautiful little Zuiko lens, and away we go.
Mm-hmm.
Little 3.5, not super fast, but does the job.
We're going to take a quick break, do a FPP store spot. I want to say a shout out to anyone out there who's used the FPP store. Folks from all over the world have used it. It's myself tinkering around in there. Anything that I sell that's vintage, I check out to make sure it works. William is over there in the FPP shipping. He is processing your order and shipping it as lickety-split as humanly possible to get you your goods. And we always include like a little 4x5 print or something kind of cool, or maybe a note or something.
Button.
To let you know that we're out of buttons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have to get buttons. Wow. Stickers, though. FPP stickers still in stock.
Oh, great.
Excellent.
Love those.
And
they're everywhere.
Just a big thanks, because it does help the shoe for the Debonair.
Oh, my gosh. That plastic, fantastic.
Yep.
Easily the coolest 120 toy camera out there.
120 toy camera. FPP found 2,000 cameras up in Rochester, New York. They're now in the FPP store. It's $19.99 US, and while supplies last, you get the camera and a roll of 120 film. We've been selling it now for a month or so, and it's usually popular. We're sending out a lot of cameras per week. As a matter of fact, some of the folks at the show that we ran into...
What show?
...had ordered from the FPP store. Lately, myself, Matt, and Leslie from Imagine That.
Hey, imagine that.
Sprockets.
Oh, they just look fantastic, Mike.
We instead of using 120 film in the FPP Debonair, which is a 120 plastic camera, myself, Matt, and Leslie have been dropping in 35mm cartridges. It fits perfectly. All you need is like a piece of like...
Packing peanuts?
Packing peanuts.
Some gaffer's tape.
Yeah, one on each side.
And you're good to go.
It fits in perfect and...
Nice and snug.
Nice and snug, and it creates your image on 35mm film, includes the image onto the sprocket area of the film, which is...
very cool.
When people see that, they're like, whoa.
How'd you do that sprocket photography?
So the FPP Debonair Film Photography Store.com. I know it sounds funny. You'd be like,
hey, man, you have 2,000 of them.
It's a limited amount. Think about it.
That's it.
How many you guys and girls out there listening? We have way over 2,000 listeners listening to FPP regularly. Get it now. It is the coolest camera. Number one recommended by myself, Matt, Leslie. Anyone that's used it so far, 2 thumbs up. So, filmphotographystore.com. 120 film cameras. There it will be. Check it out.
Yeah. Here's one of the greatest little gadgets a camera fan can own. It's a battery test light that checks your flash batteries to make sure there's enough power to set off your flash bulb. Before you load film into your camera, put the battery test light in the reflector and click the shutter. That bright glow of light tells you your flash equipment's as dependable as your GE flash bulb. It means no more missing those once-in-a-lifetime pictures because your flash gun batteries are dead. And here's what does it. A GE battery test light. And it's yours free when you buy a dozen GE flash bulbs. Either number 5s or PowerMite M2s. Just look for these displays at the camera counter of your favorite store. Get your GE flash bulbs and reach for your GE battery test light. And remember, it's free when you buy a dozen GE flash bulbs. So get yours in a hurry while they last.
Hey, let's do a live spot for the FPP store. The fact that we now sell all types of film. Thank you, Lauren. Can you do that again? You know, the FPP store was known for the instant film, the FP100C, the FP3000B, some expired film. But now, in 2013, I am excited to say that we now carry a full line of
Kodak products.
Holy cow.
That's right. It's great, Lauren, the way you just step into the Fideli role when he's not here.
Yes, it does.
You do. It's like a natural thing.
Ooh.
That's right. A full line of Kodak films. And the most shocking thing is the price.
Holy cow.
That's right. The price, you go to B&H, and if let's say something's like $4.19, guess how much it is at FPP?
I can't guess.
$4.19?
That's right. We match prices. So no more dear prices on Kodak film at the FPP store. I'm encouraging everyone to try a roll of Kodak film over at the FPP store because in order for us to be successful,
sell it.
We need to move it out. I'm also thrilled to say we have a full line of lomography, both 35mm and 120 films.
Ooh.
As well as coming soon, some Ilford products.
Lovely.
Can't wait.
Film Photography Project, hit the store link. Enjoy it. Love it. Shoot it. Order it.
Develop it.
Thank you very much. Hey, we're back.
Oh, man.
Oh, darkroom tips. Hey.
Darkroom tips from Matt.
So, hey, we got some darkroom tips.
We do.
Yeah, so, we're getting to the real nitty-gritty here in the darkroom. If you go back through the log, we talk about papers, developers. Last month, we talked about picking a timer. Today, I know I've hinted at it a little bit here and there. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about temperature control, because it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Big deal. Your image comes up, and the rate at which it comes up is entirely dependent on the temperature. A lot of folks are using their kitchens and their bathrooms, and that's great. But what temperature is it? Are you keeping it consistent? Is it fluctuating? If you're taking a shower to get some nice steam in the bathroom, are you processing the film while it's still kind of steamy? Or are you waiting for it to get down and the dust to settle and you can get a nice 70 degrees, 68 degrees Fahrenheit? Keeping your good temperature for chemistry and the environment with which you're developing is a big deal.
You mean like just the room temperature?
Just the room temperature. Knowing what it is, knowing that tomorrow it's going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. Even in a very nicely, well-controlled darkroom, you have fluctuations, so it's always good to know. Have a nice handy-dandy thermometer. Have the ability to look at that. Humidity goes hand in hand with that. That's kind of a side note, but your humidity also affects it. It affects how quickly the film will absorb things and how quickly it'll dry. Some good ways to keep control of the temperature. If you have a thermostat in your home, that is good. Check the thermostat. Make sure that's good. If you don't have a thermostat, make sure your ventilation isn't really pumping in too much heat or letting too much heat out. Windows, things that should be sealed anyway because we're light tight. Things that control your water. A mixing valve. A lot of folks, now we're getting kind of, I'm not the most mechanically inclined, but you can get a mixing valve for specifically a photographic sink. So it keeps the temperatures between 65 and 95 degrees. Another thing that keeps that temperature range very well, there are little thermometers for fish. Aquariums.
Oh.
And they have aquarium heaters, too, that keep it for tropical fish, that keep it at a higher degree. And you can use that for color chemistry, which is really nice. So mixing valves, those kind of thermometers. Another thing is if you're going, real budget, you're souping stuff in pans and everything. If you're doing color, have some hot water that will be consistently at 190 degrees. Have a quick thermometer. Those infrared readout thermometers are great, but even greater are just the metal stainless steel dial thermometers, and those are just great. They go up to temp and they hold it very well.
Where would you get that stuff?
You get all that stuff at Freestyle Photo.
Freestyle.
As far as the more complicated things like mixing valves, you can go on the Bay, and a lot of people getting rid of their darkroom equipment will be. Those are always included.
Look for CPM or Delta.
Leslie knows it all. She sold it all. But yeah, so keeping temperature, it's a good deal to have consistent temperature. We're talking 1 to 2 degrees. In the long run, it makes a big difference, especially a lot of folks are now to the point where they want to have consistency in their work, and temperature is going to be a big part of that.
And, of course, if anybody has any questions, what do they do?
Podcast at filmphotographyproject.com or Matt, M-A-T, at filmphotographyproject.com.
Absolutely.
We'll gladly answer all of your questions. In the show notes, we're going to have some links to some basic stuff that you can find on Freestyle real cheap, and make sure your chems and your air is ready to go.
Since we started talking about Darkroom on the FPP, an amazing amount of listeners have really picked it up.
It's a DIY movement.
Yes.
It really is. A lot of folks taking to it. And I'm getting more and more, I feel not like a hypocrite, but I feel kind of like guilty because folks will email me about oh, hey, I heard you do your own color and stuff.
Right.
And it's like, well, not if I have a big long project.
I mentioned it a few shows back, and I mention it often. Most people don't understand that you can do your own color negative film processing at home, and it's no big deal.
And E6, yeah.
And E6.
And
Yes.
E6.
E6.
Now,
E6 is almost easier than C41.
C41.
I think.
Mark had mentioned the expense. That's much more expensive.
You just know. You just have to do it all. You have to do it in quick order. So if you're gonna like shoot a roll a week, yeah, send it out to a lab. But if you have like 10, 15 rolls ready to go,
bulk it up.
just spend a whole day or two, and you're good.
Wow.
Yeah, but consistency wise, that's where if you don't have good temperature control,
Oh, no.
you can just mess.
C41 should really be kept at a half a degree. 'Cause if
Within
those-
half a degree.
Within a half a degree.
Yeah. It's always the first developer.
So your average person out there, you're Kodak Gold.
Absolutely.
Your regular color print film
Sure.
for people
or
listening.
Portra.
Or Portra.
Portra,
Ektar.
Ektar.
Yep.
Yes.
All that stuff.
Soup it yourself, you're saying.
Soup it yourself.
You can soup it yourself. I'm not so much anymore. The bigger the sheet of film is getting, the more wary I am of doing it myself. I have done it. It's just if you mess one up, it's $30.
Yeah.
Yes.
Down the drain.
Oh, I do have some 116 I want you to do for me again. Or no, I believe
828?
it's 616.
That stuff was the bane of my. She gave me this processing tank, and it's got a pinhole that you have to pour like half a gallon of chemistry into. And now, so C41's time sensitive. If
Yes,
that,
it
if that
is.
developer isn't completely covering that film within the first 10, 15 seconds, you're going to get streaks developing because it's at the bottom developing, and the top of the film hasn't filled up, so it's going to be a different color from one edge to the other.
Streaks.
And I can pretty much imagine that 1973 616 film was probably pretty darn curly.
You can't tell it from the tape. You can't tell it from the paper from the tape. It all feels the same in the dark.
Really?
Yeah.
And I imagine the tape, too, was pretty dry.
Very dry. Well, and
Very
the
dry.
adhesive is really nasty.
Yes, exactly.
It's worse than
Pretty
the impossible
flaky.
goop on the 8x10.
Darkroom tips.
Darkroom tips. Hey,
processing, souping it yourself.
Get out of the dark,
keep it-
Mike. We're in darkroom.
Keep it
yourself.
consistent.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Just get a thermometer.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's probably not printed anymore, but if you can find an old publication, I always love the name of it. The book was called Do It in the Dark. Excellent primer for beginning photographers. Black and white color, printing, also negative processing. May have been HP marketing, I'm not sure. It simply was called Do It in the Dark.
I've never heard of that one.
It's great. It really is. You giggle when you sell it, and then...
Of course. That's how you sell it.
There might be a scene. Isn't there a darkroom scene in SSI?
There is.
There is.
Yes, there
The whole,
is.
like,
Yes,
scene.
there is.
Now we're getting into SSI.
That's right.
Well, the folks out there listening, it's an R-rated feature film that happens to star John Fidelli.
John Fidelli.
Yeah, and there aren't many Blockbuster stores around anymore. Blockbuster Video carried it in its heyday. 2008 maybe. So if you could go on like ebay.com, type in SSI, I can't tell you what that stands for. But it's like a Benny Hill type comedy.
It's pretty much laugh out loud at times, I'm going to tell you. Yep.
But there's a whole darkroom scene, like old school.
Yes.
Old school red light.
Those
Yeah,
of
it's
you
a pretty good
over
chuckle.
18, check that out.
For the rest of you,
Yeah, wait a few years.
Wait a few years.
Well, we're going to come back in a second or so. Your laughs are silent today, unfortunately.
I'm
it's not like
sorry.
Instead, you're just like,
I don't think they do that ever.
Enjoy your color slides as never before with new Perutz color film. Brilliant natural colors, wide exposure latitude. Yes, now with new exclusive plastic mounts for better slide projection. Perutz, now processed faster than any other film. Perutz.
hey, we're back. I just want to tell everyone that it's time for us to go.
Oh.
Myself, Matt, Lauren, and Leslie are going to Mr. Lee.
Hi.
It's a Japanese Korean. It's passed every single test. Like Matt
so
rolled in,
good.
Matt and Lauren rolled in. Like, we're going to give this a check because we know good Korean.
Oh my gosh.
And good
It's
Japanese,
amazing
mostly. He
Korean
knows the
food.
Korean,
I love it.
Yeah.
I told you the bulgogi bimbap, right?
I tried it. What's that? How do you pronounce? What is it?
Bulgogi bimbap.
Gotta have your own teeth for that.
I tried it.
The hot
It's
stone.
hot.
The hot stone
It's got
bowl.
like rice on the bottom, and on top they crack an egg, but the bowl's so hot it just fries the egg right there.
It's great.
That's how hot it is.
Lots of veggies.
Not if it's
beef.
hot.
But my
Spicy.
favorite,
You know, I'm a.
the cold bowl. Do you know that?
Oh, the seafood one. Yeah.
It's called
the
Bui Boom Bop.
No, it's the
It's like the BWE.
Yeah.
Weem Bimbop.
Should you eat it if you can't pronounce it?
I call it Bimbombe.
Korean FPP fans, correct us.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
tell us how
And
to
forgive
pronounce.
us.
Please forgive us.
But it's fantastic. It's in Wayne, New Jersey. If anyone's out this way, if anyone's just like, I don't know.
Route 23. Right
Yeah,
off.
Route 23.
Oh,
Gotta
great.
check it out.
It's so
Great food.
good.
We're going there now.
And they love cameras. They're used to film.
Oh my God! As soon as we go in, they come right up to the table.
They ask,
like, "What do you got?"
Yep.
They're getting used to you.
Oh, yeah, bring that.
They'll love it.
They'll love it.
Kawaii desu
They
ne.
will. Ah! Yeah, they will love it. I think I'm gonna bring the cool cam. They will like that.
They will. They'll love the cool cam.
Yeah. We're going to be back in 2 weeks. Please stick around and join us for the extended music portion of our podcast coming up right now.
Look at him! There's a gent lives on our street, he got no pockets. And I wonder how he carries stuff, I drop it. He got nowhere to keep his keys and change. It would surely drive me crazy, so deranged. You can often see him in the morning walking, and I think I've heard him singing, maybe talking. His dead man's arms hang limply by his side, I guess he got no place to put him in his strides. He got no pockets. 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 That man has got no pockets. His mother stitched them up when he was 7. The surest way to get the boy to heaven. 'Cause young boys' hands will wander where they will. But if you got no pockets, you can't get no thrills. He got no pockets. 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 That man has got no pockets.
These tales before, when they used to mean so much more. She shows her happy head through it all, a blue thread. hoping to see his share someday.